Hey guys, we're back and we've decided to go ahead and start the videos on how to do the one and only Rainbow Loom glove so we can teach you all how to do it. You guys have done so good with the subscribers list and the views that, we couldn't ask for more. So you did a great job and we're going to get started here and show you how to do it. We're going to use the colors that you see here. We're going to use gray to hold it all together. We got glow in the dark and teal. And here's Morgan's hand so you can see how the glove actually fits on the hand. And Morgan, if you want to flip your hand over, go ahead and show them that you can use your fingers. Everything works fine. And of course it glows in the dark. Let's see if it'll glow at all. Yep, it's glowing a little bit. Let's see the other side. Flip it over. Yeah, we don't have all the lights out, but you kind of get the idea. So we're going to get started and show you how to do it. And this is going to be a short video on step one, because this is going to be the main part of what it takes to build it. And for this, I'm going to start with one loom. And what we're going to do today is we're going to determine your measuring device. And this is how you're going to determine how much you're going to need to make the glove. So I'll get back with you. Or actually, no, we'll just go ahead and get started. Easy enough, and you're going to make it almost like you make the single. So we're going to start here, and then you just alternate your pattern. We're going to do a row of glow in the dark, a row of teal, and a row of glow in the dark. Okay, so basically you're going to start it like your triple single, okay? And you're going to do one row of each, alternating the rows. And then what you're going to do is you're going to flip this around, and you're going to take your connecting color, which is what we're going to use to connect the rubber band or the glove together. And you're going to do just one row up like so. And what you're doing is you're going from the outside to the inside in a V pattern, or an angled pattern, however you want to call it. And you will not do the very last one. You just do right to the end, next to the end. And then you're going to go back up and you're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Okay. So that's what your pattern should look like. You do one side like so, and then you do the other side here. Okay. And then all you're going to do is you're going to hook these all up. And you hook it just by going underneath the first gray. Bring it over. Remember to hold that first one down because it's going to be kind of loose. Okay, then when you get to your end, you're going to take these pieces over to the center. Just like you would with any of the other. And then we'll go ahead and get one of the stopper bands in there. And what I like to do with these stoppers is I twist it in towards the loom, come in, and then twist it back the opposite way that you did before. And then just pull a little slip knot over there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this off. Okay. Alright, so basically this is what you've created. Okay, it's kind of like a triple single, but you got the loops on the end. You're going to have these two end loops here, which these two end loops are actually going to correspond to down here. So this is the way you're going to be building it. So keep in mind that each one of these gray loops is going to contain 4 rows of singles. So right now you have it containing 2, because you have 2 loops here that are on these, and then you have this middle one and this one that are contained in this gray loop on this side. So as you add to it, you're going to put this back on the loom to take up 2. Okay, so I'll show you that in a minute if you don't understand now. And then these loops that you've created down here are what's going to tie into this starburst down here. Alright, and you're going to make a whole series of these. You're going to do here, then you're going to add some more and add some more and add some more till you create how much you're going to need to go around your hand. So we have this. So if we put it in my hand's a little bit bigger than most that are going to be doing this. But I would need probably another, in order for it to cover my hand comfortably. Now, you don't want it to be super tight. You want it to be a little bit loose. So if I put this at the bottom of my hand right there, where the starburst bracelet would be on my wrist, then I probably can use another loom worth. So I can do 2 looms of these singles to cover the palm of my hand. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put it back on the loom and create another piece to do the palm of my hand. Alright. So how do we do that? We're going to do the same thing that we did before. See, right now I'm only using 1 loom. So theoretically you could do this with 1 loom. But 2 looms, 3 looms, the more looms you have... Ooh, look, we have a broken one. Can't use that one. So the more looms you have, the easier it's going to be for you. But this can be done with 1 loom. You don't have to have so many. Right now Morgan and I have 4 looms that we use to create the stuff that we create, but we wanted to come up with something that can be done with just 1 loom. And the glove can be done with just 1 loom. Now, since we're just extending the glove, we're going to continue with the same pattern. And once you see this video, you're going to need, you're going to be making a lot of these pieces right here to create this glove. So once we give you this first step here, you're going to be doing this a lot to get this thing to wrap around your hand. And like I've said before, I always use new rubber bands. I don't reuse rubber bands that have come off of other bracelets just because they've been stretched out and a lot of times they break. So, with this bracelet in particular, it wouldn't be too bad of a thing because of the fact that the bands themselves, it's easy to patch this bracelet together. So so we flipped it around the opposite way. We have this gray here. that's on. So what I'm doing is I'm pinching the back side of these rubber bands pretty tight while I'm adding this back on. Everything's back on, so I can let go of that. The only thing I have left is this here. Okay. And we've added that back together. So I hope everybody saw that. So what we've done is we put one of the loops down. You're basically recreating exactly what it was. So if you think about how the bracelet's made, you have this band on top of this one on top of this one, and then the gray is going to go on top of that. Okay? So we continue, we put the rest of our grays on. So we put the bottom side of the single down first, then we put the gray rubber band on top of it, and then we take that piece over. And then we do the same in the middle, but we got two pieces that are underneath in the middle. Then we put that section over. Then we put the bottom part down, put the gray on, and then flip it over, and then just kind of move things around as you do it. Then we put our grays on. Okay, so there we've tied it together. Okay, so now if I put this back on my hand, we'll see that that comes down to my wrist and to the palm of my hand. Okay, so that's pretty good. I can probably even spare, yeah, that'll work pretty good. Then it'll be long enough for my hand. So now we need to talk about making the finger. Now, to save less steps for me, I could use 3 looms and then come up here to my finger. But if you put this up to your hand, you figure I got, let's see. So what you want to figure out is how many of these singles it's going to take to cover your finger. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 singles would cover my pinky. So we'll go ahead and make 12, then we'll have a little bit of curve over on the end. So we have here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on one loom. So basically, in order for this to cover my hand, we'll need, I would say 12. So, for me to make a glove, I would do best with 3 looms. Okay, but since I don't have the 3 looms set up, we're going to go ahead and do one more. Remember, this is our original base down here. Keep that the way it is, and we're just going to tie this into it in a second. So we're keeping the same pattern going, and we'll get back with you in a sec. Okay, so I have my original pieces here together. Let's get that loop out of there so you can see it. Alright, so I got my original pieces, I got it spliced back on, I got the loom, or the neck section built, and then we just start bringing them forward, doing our singles. This is easy stuff that you should have been doing since you got your loom. The hard part about this is tying everything together, and I will tell you that after you've worked on this for a while, because there's so much that you're putting together, you become tired and you start making silly mistakes, and that's when you just put it down and work on it the next day. Because it's very easy to pick up where you've left off, where you don't have to mess it all up. And since you're working in small sections, you know, if something happens, then you don't lose the whole thing. So that's what makes it, you know, easy as far as some of the other stuff that we've done with the, you know, the double cross starburst and the triple starburst and that kind of stuff. Something messes up along the way in that one, you got to start all over, which isn't fun. Okay. Get this last section. And you guys can just kind of work along with me as we're doing this. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it. Not a big deal. Like I said, work slowly, don't rush. Okay, so again, go underneath, hook your gray, turn it, bring it up through, turn it back. Oop. Pull the loom apart. Okay, so we got 3 rows of triples all made with 1 loom. Okay, now just to save time, I'm going to go ahead and hook the other loom up. So we got 2 looms here. Right, there's 2 looms. Okay, and now it's going to get a little interesting because remember, this is the end of our finger, and these double loops down here are going to be at our wrist down here. So this is going to be the wrist end, and we're going to work, you know, we worked on our pinky, so we're going to be working that way. Okay, so now we're going to build from here. So it's going to attach on this side, it's going to attach on this side, or well, it's going to attach on the loom when we flip it around. But since we have the white color there, we're going to have to do the teal on the outside, glow in the dark, teal. Okay, so we're going to load up the loom. I'm going to do it all the way to the end to save on time. We're going to go to the 2 looms now, and we are not going to use more than 2 looms for this video. So let me load up the loom. You know how to make a triple, so I don't need to show you. I'm going to load it up and I'll get back with you. Okay, so I got the singles put on all the way to the end. I've turned my loom around. So now we got the base of our loom, okay, which is the last 2. And what we're going to do now is, instead of going, instead of adding the 2 here, we're going to go ahead and add these all the way to the end. Okay, so I'll show you that real quick. But remember, like I told you before, that each gray band is going to encompass 4 singles. And that's what keeps everything even across the glove. So you're going to put the one side away from you down. We're going to go all the way to the end. Now, depending on the size of your hand, because I'm going to have to basically use 3 looms because my hand's bigger than I'm going to make another section for the fingers. But if you have to do, if you only need 2 looms, which is like we did with the original one, we only used, it was only 2 looms long because it was for my daughter, so her fingers and hand isn't as big as mine. Then I'll show you where the difference would be in making it. Because this one will be, a little bit of a different technique because of the fact that my hand's a little bigger. Okay, we'll go all the way up here. Okay, so we put all our grays, and now we come back to this. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that first loop, and we're going to put it over the 2. Right there. Just like that. And then we just pull each gray out, and you're going to be stretching this all the way up. And of course, make sure that you get all of the gray ones. As you're moving along, paying attention. You can pull this out if you need to. Sometimes what I did is I had Morgan come and hold it. So if your mom or dad or somebody or whoever's making the bracelet, if you got somebody that can help, get an extra hand in here to help you load these up, that's, it's perfect. Because it does get a little tight. Okay. So we're continuing on. And if you can hold the band as you're pulling it tight, and pulling the loom on. So if your hand's smaller, say you only had to use 1 loom worth of it, and then you're into your finger. Then you would only do, like we only went 12 up for the palm, and then you would not attach the rest of these. What you would do is you would just take more gray rubber bands and attach them. But you'll see here when I get closer to the end. So remember, each gray rubber band is going to now encompass 4 singles. Okay. We're getting there, guys. Sorry I got off camera there. Okay, and then there's the rest of our pinky finger right there. So, just say for instance that if we had more to go on, this was our other finger, then you would stop here by you stop attaching these, and then you would just take, grays over these again, and then continue it on, which you'll see when I add it, because I'm going to cap this end off, and then I'm going to add it back to a single loom to create the other finger here. But we won't connect the fingers together. Otherwise you'd have a mitten. So you want them to be apart. So let me hook this up. And just as a precaution, I always hook the side up that I have all the bands on, just because it's under a lot of stress. So I'm going to hook these up, and then we'll put a little high speed. Remember, again, make sure you hold on, because this band is going to be real loose for the start. Get it up and over, and hook it on. There you go. And then once you get past those first 2, it'll be a little easier to hook them on. Because you're working with singles, it doesn't make a difference in which order that you hook up. I put the grays in the same patterning because of the fact that I want them to look the same afterwards. But as far as the singles, it doesn't make a difference if you start on the left or the right. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and try something here. since it's all put together down here, and we know it is, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can pull this end off of the loom. Which I did. Oop. Let's see. Take that piece off. Oop. Nope. Wrong end. Oh, no. Alright. Worked out better than I thought. Okay, so this will save the hassle of splicing. So, just something I just figured out. So, that's kind of cool. So, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and build the rest of what we were talking about. And then we don't have to, we're not having to splice anything together. We're just taking it off of the back end. Like we did here, we just took it off the back end. And then we'll just bring it forward. So, that'll work. There's always a way to do something. So, we'll get it together and we'll go ahead and go the same patterning. Remember we got to build up. So, we're going to have to build it up this way. Okay, so remember that everything on this side should be underneath of this. So we'll just pull that back up. So we do splice a little bit, but it's more of a controlled splice. So we're going to grab that loop, put that on there, loop it back around, push it down. Grab that, put that loop on there, push it down. Now we need to get the top, because our gray is going to go there. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So actually, this gray here is going to comprise of this gray right here. Okay, so this is still part of the hand here. And then we're going to reach in here and take this one off. Actually, since we're doing the outside one, let's leave that there for now. And we'll go over here. This is just because we keep the same pattern. It's going to go there. this one here. Wrap it around there. Let's get that back on there. Oop, got the wrong one. Okay. So, let me finish going with the rest of the grays and I'll get back with you. Okay, so since, we have our finger over here, we're creating another finger. So we get to the point here, we've gone up enough, we have 12 pegs left for the finger. We do not need to attach this. So we've attached the, the one side. Remember, we're building to the left, so we do the left side first. And then once we get to the point where we're separating the fingers, you just keep that and then you just add your gray pieces here. Because what you're going to do is you're going to connect the fingers, if you can imagine, underneath by adding between this and the other side of the glove. So we're going to go ahead and hook this up and then I'll take it all off and show you. Good. And sometimes if you need help getting it off, use the hook. That's what it's there for, guys. Okay. So here we have 2 parts. Now, if I want to add more since my finger's bigger, it's not too bad. You know, I get a decent amount of stretch there. And you can kind of see where it goes to on my wrist. Might be a little long, but that's okay. Yeah, so there you have it. So that's going to be part 1 for the series. And remember, you're going to keep 4 in. So you got the 4 pieces right there, and then you got here and here that still have the extra one. So your task for the rest of the week, I'm going to give you 1 week, and you know, it might take you some time to get some more bands, but remember, 4 stripes or 4 singles per each section of gray rubber band. So this gray rubber band right here now has that glow in the dark, that green, so then when you build more on the loom, you're going to attach these rubber bands to it, okay, and then you're going to build up. When you get up to your finger, you know, stay in line, you know, stay in the same line as you got here, and then you're going to stop, and then you continue building with just the grays, you know, add the grays along. So, quick recap, you're going to build your bracelet the standard way with the arrows pointing away from you, okay? Then once you get all your singles on there, you're going to flip it around, you're going to do your left-sided grays, and then you're going to attach the left side of your bracelet, or the left side of your glove, onto it there, okay? So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. I'll give you a week, and I'm going to go ahead and continue working on mine for the next week. And then next Thursday or Friday, I'll get back with you with the next part in the series. So good luck, and have fun, work slowly. And if you have any questions, don't get frustrated. Just shoot them to me. Talk to you soon. And thanks for watching, and thanks for all the views, guys. We really appreciate it. Take care.